lovelies. Captain Edward von Arkham here, coming to you from on board the NHS Hysteria. I've been wallowing in nostalgia all day. I suppose I've been missing an old friend. Big Ben was his name, bless his heart. Figuratively, of course. Strictly speaking, he didn't have a heart. It was more of a pneumatic engine. Ben was a robot, you see. A rather large robot. In fact, I would go so far as to call him gigantic. I built him so long ago now, in the midst of the early days of the scientific rebellion. Far before the rise of Coppersteam City, before I had even taken to the sky. I was one of many outlaw scientists and engineers, all running from the oppressive regime of Good Queen Vicky. Good Queen potato-faced, dumpy, muffin-topped, massive caboose Vicky! A group of my colleagues and I had fled England and were held up on the Isle of Staffa in southern Scotland. We established a camp on the island where we hoped to remain unseen by the Crown. Each of us had brought bits and pieces of our respective laboratories, whatever we could carry. Unfortunately, our presence on the island did not go unnoticed. We received word on our radio from another group of refugees on the Isle of Islay. They had fled their camp after spotting 3 Imperial warships flying northwest towards our position. We prepared to defend ourselves the only way we knew how. With science! We set up boats on the northern shore, but we needed something to delay the warships in time for us to escape. I volunteered to lead a team of engineers in constructing a champion to defend us. A 10-story titan of god steel and brass with hydraulic limbs powered by a massive steam pneumatic engine and operated by a difference engine the size of a small house. Like Talos guarding the Isle of Crete, Big Ben would stand vigilant over the shores of Staffa. When the warships came, we slipped away in the darkness, while Big Ben towered over the island, smashing one of them clean out of the sky before it could even fire a shot. His massive arms deflected cannon shells like pebbles, until one rogue shell pierced his engine chamber. He toppled over the island and hit the ground with a crash that resounded through the dark waters. But by then, we were far beyond the warship's sight. Big Ben saved all of our lives. A month later, I returned to Staffa to give Big Ben a hero's burial. I disassembled him piece by piece and hid the parts in Fingal's cave at the southern point of the island. A cave that in legend was the resting place of the giant Finn McCool. Last night was shanty night aboard the MHS Hysteria, and I sang a song by the great Stan Rogers called Giant, to honor my fallen robot champion. And like it or not, I'm going to sing it for you now. Oh, it's the other side, right. There we go. Cold wind on the harbor and rain on the road. Wet promise of winter gives recourse to coal. There's fire in the blood and a fog on Rador. The giant will rise with the moon. 'Twas the same ancient fever in the Isles of the Blest that our fathers brought with them when they went west. It's the blood of the druids that never will rest. The giant will rise with the moon and crash the glass down. Move with the tide, young friends, and old whiskey are burning inside. Crash the glass down, Fingal will rise with the moon. In inclement weather, the people are fey. 3,000-year stories as night turns to day. Remembering Fingal feels not far away. The giant will rise with the moon. The wind's in the north, there be new moon tonight, and we have no circle to dance in its sight. So light a torch, bring the bottle, and build the fire bright. The giant will rise with the moon and crash the glass down. Move with the tide, young friends, and old whiskey are burning inside. Crash the glass down, Fingal will rise with the moon. Cold wind on the harbor and rain on the road. Wet promise of winter gives recourse to cold. There's fire in the blood and a fog on the door. The giant will rise with the moon. Big Ben lies in Fingal's cave to this day. But one day, when he is needed, I shall rebuild him and he will rise again. Ah, well, that's all our time for today. I'm going to get cracking on the plans for Big Ben Mark II. Until next time, stay mad, my duckies. Good queen potato-faced, dumpy, muffin-topped, massive caboosed, furry-faced, cranky old we are not amused, Vicky.